Bruin fans, what is good? It's your Bruin Bible host, Will Decker. We're going to take this off the beaten path a little bit from the Bruin Bible and break down DeShaun Foster getting promoted to associate head coach. And he's still going to remain as the running back coach as well. But I just want to document this guy's journey, as I believe he is the best running back coach in the entire NCAA. You heard that right. There's no stutters in that. My man, DeShaun Foster. Let's take it back to the beginning, his Bruin career. This guy was a high school star in Tustin High School, out in Tustin, California. Lettered in 3 different sports. Ultimately chose to go to the UCLA Bruins, where he set a true freshman record for yards and touchdowns, fresh off the rip as a 18-year-old on the UCLA squad. And then went on to go back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He left UCLA, when it came time to get drafted in 2002 as somebody that was top 10 in the team in yards, touchdowns, and points scored in the history of UCLA football. This man was a legend on campus. He even had the record when he left at 301 yards. It's still second for the most individual yards per game stat, if you will, that was later broken by the great Maurice Jones-Drew, who had 322 yards against Washington in 2004. But DeShaun Foster was a bad dude. He got drafted in the second round, 34th overall pick to the Carolina Panthers, and had a very productive NFL career, close to 4,000 yards on the ground, 11 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns receiving. Even had that famous Super Bowl run against the New England Patriots where he took it to the house on a breakaway run. And, Carolina became this close from taking down the Patriots in that game. DeShaun Foster was a major reason as to why he really got into coaching back in 2012. He wanted to come back to UCLA. He was an undergraduate assistant for Jim Mora and then was a graduate assistant from 2014 to 2015. Took a brief pause from UCLA as he went to Texas Tech under Cliff Kingsbury to be the running backs coach at that time. And then when Chip Kelly got the job, Chip Kelly promoted him to the running backs coach for UCLA. And this is where his career really took off as a coach. DeShaun Foster, in terms of developing talent, I don't think there's a better running backs coach in this country. And a big reason as to why is what he's working with in the recruiting wise. Yeah, I know Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, these big name schools and brands. Yeah, they put out a lot of NFL running backs, but you look at the caliber of recruits, these guys are coming in high 4-star players, mostly when it comes to these schools that are being able to go to the NFL and make plays. DeShaun Foster, with Zach Charbonnet coming in, it's going to be his 4th straight running back going to the NFL for his time there. And he's been here since 2017. So this is about 5 full seasons of football, if you will. So let me break it down. 2017, he inherits Joshua Kelly, a 2-star running back transfer from UC Davis, who he puts on the map, elevates his stock, gets drafted by the Los Angeles Chargers. Still on the roster, still making plays. Joshua Kelly, NFL pick number 1. NFL pick number 2, Demetric Felton. This guy wasn't even a running back coming to UCLA. This man was a wide receiver prospect, a low 3-star wide receiver prospect. Felton has been making plays, for UCLA and now the Cleveland Browns. And a large portion of that is dedicated to what DeShaun Foster was able to teach him in the running back room. When it comes to getting a transfer in Britton Brown, a guy that was a productive running back at Duke, a university that doesn't have a history of putting a lot of talented players in the NFL. Britton Brown transfers from Duke, comes to UCLA, was kind of the thunder and lightning to Charbonnet for a year. And he's a 7th-round draft pick for the Raiders. He's still on the roster. I think a lot of people liked what they saw from him in the preseason. Britton Brown's got a place if Josh Jacobs moves on from the Raiders. So they kind of stashed him away. GM Dave Ziegler doing some good things there for the Raiders. So that's the 3rd running back he's put out. And Zach Charbonnet, I think it has to be said, because Charbonnet, yes, he was a 4-star caliber running back. He was probably a top 50, top 60 player in the country. But you have to understand, this man fell out of favor completely with Michigan after his initial, freshman year at tailback. I think just building up Charbonnet's confidence and putting him in a system where he'd succeed, with Chip Kelly and DeShaun Foster both coaching him up at the running back position, it's allowed Charbonnet to become one of the top 3 running backs within the draft process. So that's 4 straight running backs taken to the NFL. And, I'm not even including Carson Steele, maybe the most productive running back on the transfer portal. Where does he decide to go? UCLA. I think a large portion of that is what DeShaun Foster has brought to the table in terms of him developing prospects. Look at what TJ Harden was doing at the end of the season, who I believe is the next NFL running back out of that group. So, I mean, what I want to say to people that love UCLA, love what we're bringing to the program, what DeShaun Foster is doing for the program as a whole, is keep this guy in high standing because he deserves it. And he's doing a hell of a job. Not too many coaches better than DeShaun Foster. Let me put it to you the way Drake puts it. He's top 2 and he's not 2 when it comes to the running back position in terms of development. And that ain't even an argument. UCLA Bruins football, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the UCLA LAFB channel. Los Angeles Football Network, what could be better? We out.